Hey, what's up, everyone? It's Coach K here. We're just going to take a second to let everyone join in on all the fun we're going to have today, and then we're going to get started. So, if you guys could do me a favor while we get started, today we're going to go over a couple things. Some people had some predictions that they would like me to do over the weekend. I'm going to show you some stuff that I noticed throughout this week in Bitcoin and how you could have played it and won. Nice to see you, Mark Jenko, Yap, Tristan, and Jamal. And so I just want to get into like all the different stuff that's happening this weekend, a little bit of laughter, a little bit of fun, and then like kind of go over what actually happened in the markets and stuff like that. So yeah, come and join in, get some education for free, and enjoy yourselves. We will at the end of this live feed have a contest. So over the weekend, I'm going to look for who comments on this video and the video yesterday. Whoever commented on it will be put into a prize draw to win a free month of Athena Education's software. So you guys can use it to, trade on Binance, follow trades, copy trades, etc. David, nice to see you. Ricardo, nice to see you. And I think that's Tristan and also Leroy. Great seeing you, man. Hope you're doing really well. And we got you guys on Facebook and on YouTube. If you're watching, come on to YouTube for your comments, guys, because that's what's going to count for the prize draw. So if you don't know where that is, I'll just post the link right here for you guys in the actual chat. Join us over here. Don't be shy. It's something that will help you get entered. Yap, what's up? How you doing, brother? And all right, let me just jump into what's going on in the market. First things first, let's talk about our favorite friend, Craig Satoshi Wright. Mr. Fake Toshi himself yet again. Now, what I find funny about this guy is he's been caught like 40 different ways, 40 different times, over and over again, yet he still keeps lingering around. If you guys notice that he just lingers and he's doing his thing, and it's kind of like weird almost in a way, because it's like, why are you even here still? Like, what are you doing, dude? But what's really interesting is they actually caught him yet again. And when he went to court this week, he could not produce the documents that he needed to, so that basically he could, do his thing and prove who he was in terms of Satoshi. So jumping into that, let's do it. Yap, nice to see you there on YouTube. Okay, so let's jump on in and talk about what happened in the market and what's going on. First things first, looking at Mr. Craig Satoshi Wright, the Bitcoin pretender has been caught yet again. Here's something really funny that happened. So they went through his future. Now he's supposed to be doing this document that he created in October of 2012. So they go through the document and they're looking it up and they find something pretty interesting. So they go into the details of the document and they find out that it was copyrighted by 2015's Microsoft application. So what that means is basically there was no way before 2015 that he could have done this, and he got caught red-handed yet again. So there's some Satoshi for you. And Mysterious Troll, one of my friends, actually, I know who did this, but I'm not going to name names. They came out and this is just funny to me, honestly. They made loser.com. So if you guys go on to loser.com and you just press enter, someone paid $20,000 just so that they could make loser.com. So Craig Stephen Wright's Wikipedia page. So it's pretty cool, pretty funny. Just wanted to make you guys have a little laugh as well before we get into anything more serious. But yeah, someone paid $21,000 for that, so pretty insane. But that's what happens when you mess with people that have money, that made money in crypto. Another sleazebag in our crypto industry is Nouriel Roubini. Now, this guy literally, it's like giving me a gold prize and paying me $50,000 to $75,000, because I was telling all you guys in April was going to be the next bull run, and everyone was like, how do you know? And I was like, listen, I've done analysis. I'm very sure my prediction is going to be correct. But what's really funny about that is now we have Nouriel Roubini, which is pretty interesting. Now, if you guys just joined and you're watching on YouTube, the comments will count towards a prize. If you're watching after this video is live, it doesn't matter. Do comment in the video. That will help you get entered into a draw, which I will do on a random computer generator. And you must also be a subscriber to the channel, so don't forget to subscribe to the channel and also smash up some likes. So, Nouriel Roubini goes on to stage into what we would call a debate against Arthur Hayes. Now, here's the thing about this guy. There is no debate. All he does is come on, and he's more of a troll than anything else. So, Roubini, I don't understand why they actually even let this guy do it, you know? Marco, it's great to see you, brother. Hope you're having a great day. So, what's really interesting here is Roubini basically just talks crap all the time. It doesn't matter how good your arguments are or bad. Bitcoin's a scam, crypto's for criminals, all this negative stuff, right? So it's really annoying to have him here. He gets paid $50,000. Hayes keeps smashing back all the stuff and telling him all these different things like you're an idiot, basically. And he is. And then we have him come on after, and I'll show you what this is about. He comes on and gloats over the UK push to ban crypto derivatives. Now, what's really funny about this whole banning of crypto derivatives is this. Nouriel Roubini, didn't actually probably read this, but look at the proposed ban. He says they gloated over a push to ban. They proposed it. Propositions don't actually usually mean anything in governments. It's just something that they say might happen. Doesn't mean very much. And yes, they have some good points in there about regulation, which is good. But at the same time, it's really not that big of a deal. It's just them saying they want to. There's a couple things that yes, there's good and bad, but honestly, Roubini, he just needs to not have a seat, just like Craig Stephen Wright and Roubini can both. They can both just not be in this industry. They don't provide any value at all. They just provide, you know, drama. I get if you like that about the industry, you'd enjoy this, the drama of the industry. Okay, so the FCA proposed to ban cryptocurrency products, especially derivatives, CFDs and stuff like that. They said that, you know, it's a really a place where people can lose a lot of money, and how, like, you know, it's really hard and most consumers will lose, and it's a really volatile asset, so they think that they shouldn't have it there anymore, and it, you know, all this stuff. So this is proposed. I don't really believe there's very much merit to it, to be completely honest. So don't stress out about that at all. Now, jumping into the stuff that you really want, guys. So hopefully you've stayed and watched most of the video. You wanted to see the technical analysis. I'm going to show you two things. One, how to set up a trade. So if you've ever been wondering how do you set up a trade, this is how you're going to do it today. And another thing I'm going to show you is a trade that I actually set up and actually executed perfectly. And so I want you guys to learn how to do that yourself. Obviously, you're not going to learn this in a day, and there's a reason why I'm making a course to simplify all this information for you, but you'll actually see what I'm actually trying to help you guys learn, and it will be very beneficial to all of you. So stick around, don't go anywhere. Definitely click the subscribe and like button, because I'll be doing drop out videos between Tuesday and Thursday that just have TA, and you're going to be able to learn what I'm seeing in the market, so maybe it could potentially help you. I'm not saying it's financial advice or anything. It's not. This is my disclaimer. It's not financial advice. It's just educational stuff so you can get better at what you do. Now, jumping in, Binance lists Dogecoin. Pretty memey, if you'd ask me, but hey, they listed it. It's really interesting they listed it, and right before they listed it, it pumped a lot, so someone must have leaked it, but hey, it is what it is. So now let's jump into some TA. This is what you guys are here for. This is what you want to know. And this is something really interesting. So about, I think it was about, let me just check my Telegram at what time I actually posted this. At 2:27 p.m. my time. Right now it is 5:39. Bitcoin had literally touched the bottom of the cloud, which was at $10,837. I want to show you something. I told everyone we're probably going to test this area. Yesterday, the day before that, I said this. I said we're very likely going to do a 50% retrace to 10,861, 10,850, I believe, somewhere around that range, and that we were looking for it. So here's what's really interesting. You can see that yesterday we closed to start today below our Tenkan, okay? Our Tenkan Sin line, okay? So we closed below it, which is not bearish, but it means it's trying to go towards right here, which is our Kijin, right? Which is our equilibrium, the market's equilibrium, right? And it touched it. That's what we touched the other day, like I was telling you guys. So here's what's really interesting. We go on the 4 hour, because if you trade on the daily in the 4 hour, those should be the ones that you look at the most. Here's what I noticed, okay? So what you see right here is the cloud, right? And you know, you shrink it down, whatever you want to call it. But here I saw that we touched the bottom of the cloud. And if you go on to t.me right now, t.me Athena project, and look in the group, in the channel, you'll see this exact chart before this big huge candle was there. And what I said in that chart was, guys, look, it looks like we're going to bounce off the bottom of the cloud. And we were only at 10,000, I think we're just over 10,880 or so at that point. So we're going to bounce off the bottom of this cloud, which also had the Tenkan-sen. You can't see it because I've drawn a Fibonacci chart. But if I move this just a little bit out of the way, you can see the Tenkan-sen's right there, right? So it was also the Tenkan-sen, pretty strong confluence right there. So I thought, okay, that's good. Now, guess what touched it again? I said to everyone in my groups, guys, it's probably going to retest this line, this Tenkan-sen, and the 50% retrace. It's exactly what it did. And this is what happened next. We tested it and we moved up since then about, and this is like in the last couple hours, guys. So this is a really, really profitable trade if you were in this. We're up 3.47% or $377. When I got into my trade, we were at $10,867 when I got in. Right now it's $11,238. So very profitable trade. It's still probably going to go more. And into the weekend, where are we going to go? Well, a couple things that I look for. We have this huge bullish engulfing candle, and on the daily, now on the 4 hour, sorry, and on the daily we have this really nice pin bar. And what it's showing is the bulls came in, they tried to push the price down really, really hard, and it ended up turning into this, hangman, right? So we have this really nice hangman, right? So before we had on the weekend a shooting star, now we have this beautiful hanging man. And what happens is this hammer, what happens is the bulls came in, they tried to push it down. The bears came in, they pushed it down. The bulls came and pushed it back up. And what you see here is very simple. We pushed it back up, and now we're starting to go in a more of a bullish direction. Now we're trying to get above this blue line, the Tenkan-sen, or what we see now, our SR flip. We turned from, this is what I show you, a flip to resistance. So today we flipped to resistance on the Tenkan. I drew that this morning. Then this afternoon when we hit the cloud on the 4 hour, I showed that we're hitting the bottom of the cloud. We're going to retest. That happened. Now we have a bullish engulfing candle that's kind of showing right here. And we have 1 hour and 16 minutes to close. If we close as a bullish engulfing candle, very likely over the weekend, where are we going to go? So that's your next question, right? Here's what we'll very likely see. And I drew this yesterday saying we're probably going to come down to this level. And now I'm going to tell you guys are very likely over the weekend, especially with July the 4th, the fundamental side is there. So we have July the 4th, the fundamentals are all there to tell you what? They're there to tell you that all the families got together and all these kids went home and said, I made 300% on Bitcoin. I made 200 or 300% on Litecoin. What are they going to do? The parents are going to look at it and go, well, Bitcoin isn't dead. We should actually look at this quite like a little bit more seriously. All the families are together. They'll start talking to each other, and this will probably have a similar type of result that we had during our last big push, which was Thanksgiving, right before our last run up. I'm not saying we're going to run up right now. It's just going to keep people in conversation, and it might spark a little bit of a push over the weekend, or at least in the next couple weeks, or maybe not. We'll have to wait and see. This is a fundamental thing. It's not reading charts. So here's what could happen. We can come test this this level right here, which is our resistance at about 11,400. Probably test this right down here at 11,150 so, and then we're probably going to push towards here, but I could see over the weekend us testing this top right here. So going back to that 12,000 range, and if we want to look even deeper into the future, we have to do what we call not our normal Fibonacci. We have to make a Fibonacci trend base. So let's go and draw our fib trend, right, extensions. Okay, so our fib extension, where can we go after that? Well, our local top was at around almost 14K. So we're probably not going to get there over the weekend. But again, every time I say that, it seems like we do. So let's just see where we could end up going over the weekend before we guess. Now, we'd probably get up here. Very likely if we break through that, we're going to hit 12,700. That's where I think we very likely go this weekend. And if I'm right about families talking, we could see it even go a little bit higher. The 1414 is usually a good space, but don't be surprised if we test this 13,500 range either. So those are the areas that I'm looking at currently right now, and that's what I'm seeing for Bitcoin. Another one I want to show you guys is Ethereum. So Ethereum, you do not want to touch on the Ethereum Bitcoin pairing. It's gone pretty much dead, and I'll show you that in a second. Now, what did I say yesterday? I said we bounced off the 200 MA on the 4-hour, and we're likely going to stay in this type of a box. So our box might get a little bit bigger to match that, but we're probably going to stay in this range for a little bit. Now, if we do break out of that range, we may go up to this level of resistance up here, but I think that it will definitely stay in this box over the weekend. It might come up and down, but I've been wrong before, so you never know. And it's trying to complete a 4 inside up, but I don't think there's not really a 4 inside up, but it can happen. So look at ETH. It's not really doing too much different than it was any other day this week. So don't get too excited about Ethereum yet. It's in this box. It's probably going to stay in its little box. Okay. Remember, guys, if you have questions or you want to subscribe, click subscribe. Don't forget to like this video. It does help, and comment, because I'm giving away 1 month free with Athena Trading Systems, so you guys can have your own. Now, jumping into something else educational. Now I want to show you guys something that I put on my chart a couple days ago and how it played out. So I'm going to show you guys how to do what we call an edge-to-edge trade. Right? My buddy Zorhan is pretty much the one who coined the edge-to-edge, but I use it now, and it's very effective when you're trading. So it's stuff that you guys can learn very easily, and I'm going to show you another one with Walton Chain, because that one's done extremely well on its own as well. So let's just first look at what are we looking for, so you know how to set it up. So to set up this trade, the first thing that you need is a TK cross. What it means is that our slow Tenkin, it crosses over our fast Tenkin Sen line crosses over our Kijun Sen. So our Kijun Sen is usually a slower moving average, and it's a faster moving average, to make it really simple. So basically you want the faster one above the slower one. If it's above, it's bullish. If it's below, it's bearish. This is a bullish TK cross. So that's a good thing. The next thing we look for, because you don't just enter on that, we look for something like a trigger. So a trigger usually is something like a bullish engulfing candle. So you see how it's really strong? That candle is really, really strong. So we see that, yes, it breaks into two things. First thing it does is it closes above the Tenkin Sen. So it's also got a Tenkin breakout. So we have a Tenkin breakout, we have a TK cross, and we have a bullish engulfing candle. 3 really strong signals to get into that trade. So what I saw there is, and I hadn't even seen this candle yet, I drew this before, was I probably want to get in around the top of that candle, somewhere around that range. So it could have moved up or down a little bit, but I was looking for it to stop at some point over here. Now, if it gone up to here, I probably wouldn't enter the trade because of one other factor, which I'll talk about in a minute. So we also see here, so I was looking at this TK cross. Okay, this candle had gone up a bit. I was like, all right, here you see right there. All right, it looks like it's going to break into the cloud. It's a possible Tenkin breakout, but no, it actually came down. It didn't look like a bullish engulfing candle, and it didn't look very strong, so I didn't enter there. Once we had this confirmation, I entered here, and look at how beautiful that played out. So on an edge to edge, we're looking from one edge to the other edge. Very simple stated. And we go from this level all the way to the top of the cloud. Now, I usually put it a little bit below the top of the cloud just for one reason. And the reason that I do that, and I'll talk, David, good question. I'll answer that in a second. The reason why I do it a little bit below the top of the cloud, sometimes it doesn't all the way go to the edge. And then sometimes we have what we call a Kumo breakout, which I'll talk about in a second as well. So I'd like to go there. So that'd be a nice 20% move. I was looking for 20%, perfect. And here was my risk to reward ratio. So when you're trading, you never want to have a risk to reward ratio less than 1.5. So that means if my trade was getting me less than, less than 11% for a 7% stop loss, I didn't want to get in that trade. I want to actually go and have a higher risk to reward ratio, so that if I make one good trade, I have to make 2.6 bad ones for every one good one to break even, which is a great number, right? I mean, you only have to be 35% that way. So we get that good risk to reward. Look where it hit. It drove all the way to the top of the cloud, a little bit above, and that was fine. We would have sold, and we did sell that one at 20% gain. Okay, now another thing that we can look for is called a Kumo breakout, or a breakout of the cloud. So if we had another big bullish engulfing candle and broke through this cloud, which you see this big purple area, that's called a Kumo breakout. That could be another trade right after the edge to edge, or we could have left this open potentially as well. So those are two different types of trades you can make using the Ichimoku cloud, and that's stuff that you should definitely always take in consideration. Now, we did have a couple people that wanted me to look at some coins. We have XRP, we had ETH, Bitcoin, Cardano, Zilqua, Quantum, ELA, a ton. I'm going to go through a few of those based off of who asked for what, and if you guys are watching and you want any coins to be done, I will definitely go and do those as well. Okay, so is that still on a 4-hour window? Yes, it is. Guys, when you trade on Ichimoku, it's so much more accurate from 4 hours, 6 hours, 1 day, 2 day, and 3 day. Let me show you. He showed you guys another example on TNT. So on TNT, on the 4 hour didn't really look like anything, but if you went to the 3 days, look at the edge to edge that started to sort itself out, and we came all the way up halfway here. Now that didn't look like a really big move, but that was a 30 or 40% almost move. We made 28% on that once it retraced a bit. Then we could have gotten at the bottom of the cloud. It tested the bottom of the cloud as well as the Kijin, and then it starts to move back up now, and it's already up 20% again. So really, it's a really big move when you go on the longer term, and it's higher probability that it will stay and you'll actually make more profit. So we can look at multiple time frames. Another one that we were looking at as well on the 4 hour was this one, which we also hit. So we looked at Walton Chain. Again, what we were seeing is the bullish TK cross, a really nice bullish engulfing candle into there. It was above there. And another thing I forgot to say, this is the Chiku span, right? You have to be traded. This line should be above the candles. If it's below the candles, is bullish. If it's above the candles, is if it's below the candles, is bearish. If it's above the candles, is bullish, meaning it's trying to push up higher. So we saw that, and then when we got in right here. And the beautiful thing is with this is it really simplifies your trading. So you get in here, you get out there, 27%, 28%. And look, we're having a Kumo breakout right now. Walton Chain could be potentially, if it closes here, another trade right there. And I could actually start this one like that and go down to my Tenkin and then look to see how far we would go based off of a Fibonacci extension, right? So I can go to my swing low, which is kind of right down here, and we would have to guess that's our swing high. If it closes there, then we could see where we're trying to go. So we could go towards 414, etc. And then we would have to see, is it worth it to go there based off of where we would have to put our stop loss, right? And if it's not, like this trade isn't, I wouldn't get into that one. So that's how you kind of can do this. It really can help. Hey, Lily, nice to see you. Don't worry, if you're late, you guys can always watch this again. That was your educational side. Let's jump into some of the coins. So let's look at ADA. Before I do that, let me show you ETH BTC and why I said what I said first. ETH actually hit a double bottom right here. 1, 2. On the daily, you can see it even more clear. 1, 2. And I did draw that this would probably go up. But if Bitcoin starts to run and run and run, it's a dangerous place, because at 25,000 sats for Ethereum is a really, like, it's a make or break zone. Now I'm glad that it did jump, but you have to be really careful of that. I would much rather people trade ETH USD. It's a lot higher probability of a trade at this point, okay? Now, ADA BTC, let's jump into that one really quick. And I'll kind of show you what I've been seeing with ADA a little bit. It's been looking super bearish. Like, look at how low it is. It's basically at of all-time double bottom. So the lowest I ever got was 588, and we're looking at it being around 685 right now. And it did get pretty much almost down to that level again. The lowest it got was to 660, so it's pretty low at this point. I don't see anything to get into this trade at all. There's nothing here to get into. You know, we haven't even shown a sign of any reversals on the daily. If we go to the 4 hour, same thing, super bearish. Here's our Chiku span. Our Chiku span, like I told you, is underneath the candlesticks, super bearish. Nothing to look at ADA. Don't get into a trade for ADA, not yet. Unless you're doing really short time frames, that's okay. Another person asked for Zilqua BTC. And you're gonna see that I'm gonna say similar things about a lot of these coins. Now, what's interesting about Zilqua is it had a double bottom, a very, very obvious double bottom right here. 1, 2. So we had a double bottom right there, and now it's starting to move back up, starting to reverse. which is a good thing. I mean, it needed that. It definitely needed that. So Zilqua's moving up. I mean, it hasn't really moved up very much, just about 70%, but you know, it might be moving. But again, here's the things I'm looking for. The Chiku span actually is again, it's still below, it's above, but kind of coming down. It's not a strong enough signal for me to get in. If we go down to the 1 hour, let's check to see how it looks. Still Chiku span underneath the candles. It's not strong enough for me to want to get into that trade yet. So I'd be waiting for it to probably break into the cloud here on the 1 hour at very least, but I don't really trade on the 1 hour. I'm more of a day 4 hour type of trader. So this is something to also take in consideration. But we do have a nice double bottom, but again, on a double bottom, generally you need to have that happen over a long period of time. So it really is at the bottom, you know, all-time lows, like that song you saw. That's pretty much where Zilqua's is at this point. Okay, so let's look up our next favorite shitcoin, Quantum BTC. Let's look at that. So it's had actually a little bit of life, Quantum, and it's starting to go on a little bit of uptrend. And look what we see here on the daily. It completed an edge to edge, right? Now, not a very convincing one, at least, but here's what I look at. PK crossover. Well, we had to wait a little bit of time, but a bullish engulfing into the cloud. You may have gotten here and stopped out. So, you know, that would have stopped out, but then you would have saw, oh, another bullish engulfing in the cloud. You could have got in on this candle right there and gone in for about 18%. Nothing wrong with that at all. Okay, so where is Quantum going? It's still in an uptrend. It's making higher lows, right? So that's a good thing, except for this one right here is like higher low. Well, I guess you can call this a higher low. Let's look at the fractals to help us. So 1, 2, let's see where the next fractal goes. So if it keeps going up in steps, that's a good thing. It means it's kind of switching up, it's reversing. And a good sign of that is we have tweezer bottoms right here. So this tweezer bottoms help us know that it might be reversing. And then we had a 3 inside up. These 3 right here, this candle 1, 2, and 3 inside up. So that brought us back up, and because these kind of were the same size, the candles as well. Okay. Okay, XRP vet. Okay, we'll definitely look at, what do I think about the latest news of XRP? XRP partnered up with MoneyGram. Really good stuff for XRP, but like I've been saying for so long, and like I find that it finds deaf ears a lot, is that XRP will not bull until till after summer. Like, no, October, November, you'll see XRP go on a run. And, you know, I'm saying that with confidence. Like, you will see XRP move in October late or November. That's when you're going to see XRP do its thing. Right now, it's going to be suppression, suppression, suppression. It's going to look dead. And when it looks super, super dead and you're kind of giving up on it, that's when it's going to start to move. Always does it. Almost every single time. Like, I don't know if you guys remember, but XRP did most of its move in like a week. It did it in like a week, guys. The last time XRP moved, Bitcoin had finished moving and then it started to move. And if you want me to show you that, I'll show you it. Okay, so let me actually do an XRP prediction. Let's see where we're going to look to go towards. It's not going to look good, I'm telling you right now. So I told everyone it would hit 50 cents and then likely drop down to this really low level. And I could even see it getting back down to there. So let's look at where it was. This was December 15th. 2017. Bitcoin just finished its run around that time before it had a little dipsy doodle and up, and then it really dropped. So let's look at that. It raised up 400, almost 500% in 18 days, 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks. You're probably going to see something similar again. Maybe it takes maybe a little bit longer, but it's going to do something similar. We're going to see it go even further down. Okay, so if you're looking at XRP, could it have a little recovery, relief rallies as it goes up and down? Yes, it's been doing that the whole year. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, up, and down, up, down, up, down, 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 up, down, up, down, right? This is what it does. XRP does this. So if you know how this actually works when it comes to looking at XRP, you understand that like XRP is going to continue on its downtrend. It's not losing US dollar value though. So this is another thing. People ask me all the time, Joel, how come you don't do like XRP USD? Well, XRP USD looks great on this chart. Yeah, it had a little pump in you know, that was its huge pump. Then it had another little pump in September, and then it's been kind of looking like a cup and handle almost forming on the you know, if we're looking at it from this perspective, we look like a cup and handle. It looks great. You know, look at that cup. We have a handle right here. It looks good. There's nothing wrong with it, right? But we're looking at Bitcoin, right? And if Bitcoin's going up higher and faster than XRP is, then we're going to see that. And that's normal. So we might see XRP in US dollar value go up, but very likely we see that to Bitcoin's going to run harder. And this is why altcoins are getting killed, is because Bitcoin is running harder and faster than altcoins, and people are taking their altcoin money and putting into Bitcoin. So that's exactly what you're seeing right now, actually. Okay, let's jump in to what did we have? ELA. That was for Trevor. So Elastos, another coin that's just been like demolished this whole year. We had such a bright future, you know, doing really, really well, and then all year just came down. And then it kind of gave us some hope, and look at what we have here. Look at that. Look how beautiful this is. A TK cross, bullish engulfing candle into the cloud, right? And look, we usually set our stop loss below the little bit below the bottom of the cloud, so we may have got out of this trade. Then we would have saw another bullish engulfing, and we got into the cloud, and we did 50%. And then ever since pretty much March, it's just been on another downtrend. Does that mean this project's dead? I don't think so, but it's pretty much like all the other ones at their all-time low. So is there hope? Let's check on a smaller time frame. At this point, I would say there's not much. There's nothing very positive in here. Even the cloud in the future is bearish. So we don't even have a TK, we don't have a twist, a Kumo twist here or anything. And on the hourly, let's take a look at Elastos. Yeah, same thing. It was bullish more over here, but then we can also do an edge to edge the other way. So we see that here, edge to edge going bearish, TK cross, bearish engulfing into the cloud. But remember, we wouldn't do it on an hourly. We'd do it on a higher time frame. So that's what we're seeing with a lot of the coins that we're looking at here. BNB, very good one, Pay. Yeah, I definitely can check into that. So BNB BTC, it's obviously gotten wrecked as well a little bit, but nothing gets wrecked when you have CZ around, right? So we had like this really beautiful top around 0.44706, and then we had obviously some negative pressure because when this happened, Bitcoin started to just explode. And on the 26th of June, my birthday of all days, we just saw it go to its all-time low for the last, I don't know, months and months. Pretty much it hadn't been down that low since February. So it got wrecked pretty bad. Does that mean anything? No, I don't think so. It's gonna probably recover very nicely. And we're looking right here. Look at what we have. We have a bullish TK cross. We've seen a drop, but now we've had some bullish movement. We're still tankins over the Kijin. They're still tight together. If we see something like a bullish engulfing candle go into the cloud, we'll be looking for that edge to edge. As long as we have a bullish engulfing, the TK cross, and the Chiku is above the candlesticks. Right here, it's below the candlesticks. I would not get into this trade yet until this Chiku line is above the candlesticks. Keep that in mind, all right? So BNB USD looks a lot better, to be honest. It looks like it's starting to recover a bit. But it's a sporadic coin. Look at that. Just up and down, up and down, up and down. So it's a pretty sporadic coin. It looks like a heartbeat almost. But yeah, it's been bearish, but it's kind of like trying to get above that $33 mark. And I do expect for it to be in the $40 again at this level again at some point in the nearer future, honestly. So I'm not too worried about BNB. It's one of those safe haven coins you can keep, and I believe that it will be $100 by the end of the year. Great team, and Ripple has more than 200 partners. Yeah, Ripple has lots of partners, is a great team. There's a lot of stuff that's really good about a lot of these projects, but that doesn't mean the price is going to just shoot up either. So you have to keep that in mind. And you know, as long as you're realistic about it, that's good. Oh, I can't check UND on here, which is unfortunate. All right, last one I'll do is Matic before I go. And then I'll let you guys have a great weekend. Don't forget, I'll do EOS as well, David. And then I'll leave after that. So Matic, people have been asking about Matic, and I've been looking at it very, very keenly because we did have a bullish TK cross. It's still kind of chilling. I'm waiting for it to break into the cloud and do an edge to edge. But I think Matic has some extremely good news coming. I can't comment on what it is, but I heard it and it sounds awesome. And so I'm still holding a bag of Matic, over 100,000 Matic myself. And quite over 100,000. We'll just say that I'm in the six figures of Matic, and so maybe this is biased, but I also know information about Matic that's going on with their company, and there's some really good stuff coming. So I expect them to break out of this Kumo cloud when it does happen. It's very likely that it will happen, and you know, it's still a new coin, right? We don't have that much information on it. It does have some resistance around here in this 260 range. But if we break through, we're going to go towards that 300. And if we put on our pivots here, we can see another example of where we might be going. So our R1 pivots on the daily, we'd be looking at that 313 range. So I'm looking for that to happen if we have a breakout on Matic. That should be coming soon enough. Then EOS, and I'll go. Okay, so EOS has also had a very harsh reality. Let me just delete all these lines of support. I was looking at a different time frame. Go. Okay, and let me just turn off the pivots there. Okay, so what are we looking at on EOS? So we all know that it had a really beautiful run up to about 20 to about, whoa, we're looking too far ahead, to about 10,000 sats or so, right around here. And then we had this drop because no one cares about a social network. That's the problem with it all. No one really cares about social networks. It didn't excite anybody, which doesn't surprise me at all. So we had a TK cross here, and then another one, and then we just have been downtrending very hard. It's where can we go again? This is a really nice example of a double bottom. So this one happened in December, and this is now you know, 6 months later, 7 months later, in June, July, that we're having another double bottom. So really far apart, but that's usually good that they're that far apart, because it's showing us that we might have a reversal. But we have no signs yet of an actual reversal. So I would stay away from EOS if you're looking to invest. If you hold it, you still be fine. I mean, most of us, I looked at it when it was like $1 or something like that originally. And then I told people about it at $3 again. So if you got it at $3, you're still not, you're not negative in terms of the cash flow, but it doesn't look really that good, right? I mean, nothing really exciting about EOS here. So unfortunately, this is what you're going to see with most of the altcoins, unless they're new coins. And that's the reality of the situation, guys. You know, FET, it's looking like it wants to break into the cloud. And I'll show you some of the other ones I've been watching on my tomorrow list. So this is like a list that I generally make every day, and I look and watch what I'm looking for. So I'm looking for NAV right now to break into this 193 sat range. And if it doesn't, it closes. It's already got the TK cross. And look, our Chiku is underneath. So I'm also looking for that to get above. But NAV could be a good one in the future, a couple days from now potentially. Also, we have Vibe. Again, Chiku span's too low. There's no TK cross yet. This might move up and we could see it move, but nothing there. We Power. Again, another one that's just like trying to figure itself out, but they're getting closer, right? We also have a TK cross over on ARN, but that was mostly because of that news about the DEX. So don't get too excited about that. I've been just watching it as well. Here's the one that's interesting. We just had TK cross on ARC. ARC's been pretty bottomed out. So if it does break up and have a bullish engulfing into the cloud, I very likely will take that trade if Chiku span gets a little bit higher and above these candles. So I'm looking for that. ICX, not looking so great, but I just have it on my list. Nulls I've been waiting for. They have some really, really bullish news around it, but the ETH, you know, we have to see Nulls, you know, show the TA that actually supports the fundamentals. Ethan, if you missed BTC, just go rewind to the end of the video, to the start of the video when you get here. So sorry about that if you're missing it. Now, a couple other ones to keep your eyes on. Mana had a nice move, a really nice move, a really beautiful one. You could have got in here, waited for the retrace and touched the bottom of the cloud, got in there. You could have waited the retrace in this one, and you would have hit edge to edge. Another one, bullish TK cross, Chiku span above the candlesticks over here. Really nice to get in, and we've been in that trade, and I'm still looking for it to hit the top of the cloud one more time before it either breaks through and has a Kumo break, or goes back down again to touch the bottom of the cloud. So you see there's several coins that are kind of getting there, but Bitcoin just went on a nice run. Let's just check where it is. This is another one. So it retraced. I expected it will pop. It either will touch this Tenkan and move back up more. And then Manitha, like it's been kind of one of those, it's been sideways in the cloud, and it's got a really weird look to it, and it keeps touching the Tenkanashi. Let's see where it goes. This one's it's an interesting one. We entered, I entered, when did I enter on this one? I think it was on this candlestick we entered, and then it has been very sideways since. So we're just waiting to see where that goes, right? So that's pretty much it for today, guys. If you have any other questions, let's check this out. I'll just go look at BTC where it's at now at this point. It's very bullish, guys. Very, very bullish. Let's look on a very short time frame to give you a better example. We touched that twice. So what I said is we're gonna touch, and we have to, okay, so when you touch and we start to move up, generally we retest that same exact bottom, which is why you have what we call a tweezer bottom, which will tell us that we're having a reversal and we're gonna start to move up. Okay. And that's something to always look for. We have this really nice inside trading here. So that gave me a good indication that we could get in. And that's why I waited for the retest and got in at 10,872. I think it was that. Something around that range. Somewhere along this line. I did either a little bit above or a little bit below of the 50% retrace. And now we've been on this nice move. We're gonna probably come down and test this $11,150 range, and then try to test this line next over 11,400. If we break that and it turns into support again, we're looking at 11.5 and then potentially 12,000 again over the weekend. So that's what we're looking at. That's pretty much it, guys. Thank you very much for coming. If you're watching this and it's already too late, just click subscribe, like. You'll see all the videos that I do every single week. You won't miss it. And there's always some educational aspect because I was an educator before. So don't forget to subscribe. Smash up some likes, guys. And another thing that you can also do is share this video with your friends if they are kind of interested in trading and they don't really know where to start. This can give them a couple things they can start looking for, and I am developing a course that won't be really expensive at all to kind of give you guys the stepping stones to actually start trading yourself and seeing what I see. So love you guys. I hope you have a great day, everybody. Coach K signing out. If you want to find me anywhere on Twitter, I do post things, and I do post a lot of stuff on Instagram, all those things. Do click on the description below and you will see that. And if you want to check all the articles that I went through, they're also there as well. So I'll see you guys later. Have a great weekend. Coach K signing out, and happy America Day. Happy Independence Day, July 4th. Hope everyone did it safely and no one got hurt by any fireworks. Have a good one, guys.